Britain is a nation of foodies.
Sweet! Really peppery.
But what do we really know about where our food comes from?
I've never been cornered by an ostrich.
This is like Oxford Circus, but for cows.
And how it's processed before it reaches our plates.
This is incredible. The place is run by robots.
We're going to the ends of the earth to find out what's really in our food.
Whoa! I've got to change my transport.
We're meeting the people who make it.
Don't know where to look.
And we're asking the questions to learn the truth.
Let's do it.
On tonight's programme, I go to Cyprus to find out what makes halloumi, halloumi.
Sweet! That is delicious.
I'm finding out if there's any truth in the old wives' tale that apple pips contain something deadly.
You don't need an awful lot to kill the average-sized person.
And I'm in for a few surprises in the land of sourdough.
They grow and multiply in the sourdough, which give it that sour taste.
Really?
It's the cheese that squeaks and feels like rubber. And we're buying it by the bucket load. We actually eat more halloumi than any other European, bar the Cypriots, who actually make it. But exactly what milk is it they're putting into their halloumi?
Good afternoon, how can I help?
Hi, I've got a question for you about halloumi I was hoping you could help me with. One contains sheep, goats and cow's milk, and one just says it's sheep and goat. How come that is? How can they both be halloumi?
No idea. Not a dicky bird, unfortunately.
What makes halloumi halloumi? Because it seems like you can just put any old milk in.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Could you make it just with cow's milk, do you think?
Yeah.
What about pig milk?
I don't know.
Cat milk? Camel milk?
The supermarkets seem confused, so I'm heading to the home of halloumi to find some answers. Cyprus is a popular holiday destination due to its sunshine and also its cuisine. But it's in the middle of a cheese war, and it's all about what type of milk should be used to make real halloumi. I'm heading high into the hills of Nicosia to meet Vasilis, a local goat and sheep farmer.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I've come to find out what kind of milk you're using for your halloumi cheese.
Okay, I will show you. Follow me and then I will show you.
Oh, great.
Vasilis' herd produces enough milk to make about 300 kilos of halloumi a week. If anyone knows the right recipe for halloumi, it's got to be him.
I bought some halloumi in the UK and it had cow's milk in it. Does your halloumi have cow's milk in as well?
No. My halloumi, I produce my halloumi with only sheep and goat's milk.
So why don't you put cow's milk in?
I believe traditional halloumi, before many years, we made with sheep and goat milk.
So to do it the traditional way, if you use the right way, you only use milk from goats and sheep.
Goats and sheep, yes.
Not the cows.
Yes.
Can we go and have a look?
Let's go.
That is hot.
That is hot? No, this is not hot.
Yeah, but you don't come from Suffolk. The smell. This is what makes great halloumi. Look what they're feeding on. Wild thyme. It's incredible.
Now it's time to milk the herd.
Have a look at this. This is milk fresh from the udder. Very clean.
And sweet.
Sweet. That is delicious.
Sheep's milk may be delicious, but cows produce 15 times more milk every day.
In they go.
And this issue of what proportion of cow's milk can be used to make halloumi is at the heart of the cheese war.
So does it make it more expensive if you're producing halloumi just with goat's milk and sheep's milk?
Yes, for sure it's more expensive. If I breed a cow, it's very easy to make profit.
The Cypriot government are trying to protect traditional farmers like Vasilis by insisting halloumi contains more than 50% sheep or goat's milk. They are trying to register the cheese in the EU as a protected destination of origin, or PDO.
So without this PDO going forward, what would the future be for the goat and the sheep farmers?
The future for sure is too black.
Small herds and low milk yields means making halloumi the traditional way is much more expensive and probably can't survive without the help of the new PDO legislation. But the good news for sheep and goat farmers is bad news for the cattle farmers.
That is a lot of cows. How you doing? I'm Jim.
Hello. Alexandros.
Nice to meet you.
I've come to meet Alexandros from the Cyprus Cattle Farmers Association.
How important is the dairy cow compared to, say, sheep or goats?
The quantities of milk coming out from the cow farming is 5 times more than the sheep and goats.
Currently, some halloumi brands are made almost entirely with cow's milk, so this 50% limit will have a huge impact on the dairy farmers.
It means that there is going to be a lot of quantities of milk undeposited, and we will need to find new ways to use it. Or we have to cut down the sizes of our farms. If this standard goes on, it will destroy the cow farmers.
So what would your message be to the government?
Why they don't register the recipe as it is today and they want to change it?
Later, I witness halloumi making on an industrial scale and discover what will happen if the amount of cow's milk is restricted.
Would this halloumi be allowed to be called halloumi?
I believe not.
Next up, the juicy fruit that's supposed to keep the doctor away. But I've heard that the pips could be poisonous and that eating too many apple cores could be lethal. True or false?
How can I help you?
Hello, I'm calling with, well, I suppose a little bit of a random question, but hopefully you can help me. And I don't know if you've ever heard before that it's dangerous to eat apple core.
Apple cores, I don't eat them, no. I didn't know it was dangerous, but I definitely don't eat them.
There's not like a limit on pips I can eat. I haven't got a quota.
Not that I know of, so yeah, should be fine, mate.
So have you ever eaten an apple core?
I've never had an apple, to be honest with you.
You've literally never eaten an apple in your life?
Cool, Pip. Bye.
They may never have eaten an apple, but I've been eating them, pips and all, since I was a kid. Probably about time to check with an expert if I'm safe to carry on.
Good morning to you, Kate. Nice to see you.
So we're in an orchard?
Yes, indeed. We have over 2,200 varieties of apple.
I'm going in, Mike.
Okay,
do you
go on
like
then.
apples?
Oh, I do, yeah.
That's
Good?
a really good apple. But what I am here to find out is whether or not the core is dangerous. Do you ever eat apple cores?
Yes, occasionally I do.
Me too, but not occasionally, every time, because I think this is the best bit. But to get to the bottom of it, what I need now is a bucket of apples.
Okay, well, I'm sure we can harvest a few.
Determined to get under the skin of this issue, I've arranged to meet toxicologist Dr. Chris Morris.
Hi.
Hi there.
I bought you some apples, but it looks like you picked your own.
Yes, just a few.
Now, Chris, I'm hoping that you'll be able to help me get to the bottom of whether the apple core is dangerous.
Okay, well, we can do that with a very simple experiment.
First of all, Dr. Chris cuts up one of the apples and separates the flesh from the pips.
Scientific bit, just add water.
So this is just a solution made from the apple flesh.
Yeah.
He then adds a special tablet which detects chemical reactions.
We'll add this solution here, and if there's anything potentially harmful, we'll see a colour change to a bluey purple colour. So we'll do the flesh first.
My flesh.
So give that a bit of a mix.
No colour change yet.
The next test tube contains the apple pip solution.
So almost immediately we get a change.
That changed immediately.
What we're detecting here is very small amounts of cyanide.
Cyanide?
Yeah.
Gosh, really?
Cyanide in an apple? Isn't that the deadly poison found in James Bond movies and Agatha Christie books?
It's found in most seed fruits and in many, many, many plants. And the cyanide is actually useful for the apple pip in that in some cases it will help the apple pips to germinate, but it also fends off predators as well.
So cyanide comes in handy for the apple, but what about me?
You don't need an awful lot to kill the average-sized person. So it's only in a matter of a few hundred milligrams that will do that.
So how many apple pips would I have to consume for it to have an adverse effect?
Well, in each individual apple pip, there's about 70 micrograms of cyanide. So if you need hundreds of milligrams to do any harm to anybody, you need thousands and thousands of apple seeds.
So you're telling me that there is a grain of truth in the old wives' tale that you shouldn't eat an apple core?
A tiny grain of truth, but apples are perfectly safe to eat.
So I'd have to eat hundreds of thousands of apple pips in one go to feel any ill effects. But there's one curious creature that can consume unlimited amounts of cyanide without any problems.
I mean, literally, they eat enough cyanide every day to kill a human being.
And the team have told me I have to go and see it.
It's a very little hole, so I don't think anything scary is going to come through it.
Next, sourdough. It was eaten by the Egyptians 5,000 years ago and now pops up in plenty of posh bread baskets. But where does its unique flavour come from?
I do like a nice bit of sourdough, but what is it that makes it sour?
It's sour cream.
Oh.
You know, like instead of the milk, I think they use the sour cream. Isn't it from a yogurt?
Is it? Because I think sour foods, we might do lemon juice, vinegar.
Might be a secret, like Heinz 57. Might not be able to tell you.
I've come to Bath to settle a doughy debate. What makes sourdough bread so sour? I'm hoping to get the tricks of the trade from a top baker, Duncan Glendinning.
How are you?
Good.
Matt.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Now listen, Duncan, what is sourdough?
Sourdough is, well, as far as we're concerned, it's the king of breads, you know. It's the bread that packs the most flavourful punch. It's the bread that delivers the best crust.
How do you actually make a sourdough? What's the ingredients that go into it?
Really simple ingredients. At the core is made using a ferment, a sourdough culture, a sourdough mother. It's got lots of different names. I'm going to show you our bad boy here.
So what is this then?
Flour and water.
It's got the most amazing kind of acidic smell coming from it.
Yeah,
it's got
I mean,
a lot
it's
like
a real
like
face
home brew,
kind of,
you know?
yeah, real kind of face sort of cringer.
Yeah.
And natural sugars in the flour combined with the water creates the perfect medium for like all of these wild yeast that are all around us that we can't see.
Okay.
And they'll basically colonise this kind of gloopy substance and start to feed off it. And this is really the sign that it's kind of like this living thing that's produced this carbon dioxide and all those beautiful kind of like gases. And this is what is going to help the bread to rise, basically. It's got a twang, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And it's because we're working with a living and breathing thing that we feed and maintain.
Every sourdough culture is unique, so bread makers take pride in creating the most distinctive loaves. Duncan's gloop's been fermenting for 6 years, but that's nothing.
In sourdough, without getting too emotional about it, it's just the craziest sort of thing, really, because you hear bakeries who have dragged theirs back across Siberia on, I don't know, back of a donkey or something like that. It's like 400 years old or something.
Yeah.
We wanted to start our own when we started our business.
Now it's time to get on with the bread making. Some of Duncan's starter cultures mix with water and flour to make a dough, which is left to develop for several days. But how on earth do the wild yeast from the air combine with the flour and the water to create such a strong flavour and such a delicious bread? To suss out the science of the sourdough starter, I'm in Edinburgh to meet microbiologist Dr. Patrick Hickey.
How you doing? Great to meet you. Nice to meet you. Now, I've been looking at sourdough. What I don't understand is how do they bring that flavour?
Right, well, it's a complex cocktail of microorganisms that are in that sourdough culture. There are certain types of wild yeast. There's also some little hidden special guests. So looking down the microscope...
Those special guests are hard at work inside this uncooked dough. Dr. Patrick's going to show me what they're getting up to.
I mean, the secret of the sourdough is actually in its starter culture. So what I've done is I've taken a little bit of this dough, placed it on the microscope, and I'm going to show you exactly what's in there. So looking down the microscope, we can see some of this wild yeast. The yeast are kind of almost egg-shaped. You can see it's like a little round balloon.
So the more wild yeast you have, is that the stronger the flavour of your sourdough?
It's not the wild yeast that are important here. If you look around these wild yeast, you can see these other structures that look completely different, like little rods.
Yeah.
Those are actually bacteria. These bacteria, they're actually called lactic acid bacteria.
Okay.
Lactobacillus. They're completely harmless, and they grow and multiply in the sourdough and produce things like lactic acid, which give it that slightly sour taste.
Really?
Like the wild yeast, these lactic acid bacteria are found everywhere and thrive in the uncooked dough, munching on a diet of simple sugars and proteins from the flour.
So really, the key to a good sourdough are these natural yeasts, these friendly bacteria producing all the acids that you can then taste over a period of time.
If you're patient, you can have the perfect sourdough bread.
Time and patience, two things I don't have. So I'm going to nick yours. That's all right. Thanks, fella. I'll be off. See you later.
I'm in Cyprus, a country that's renowned for its laid-back charm and delicious local cuisine. But I've become embroiled in the cheese war that's dividing the farming community. They're battling over legislation to change the recipe of one of our favourite cheeses, halloumi.
What would that mean to dairy farmers here in Cyprus?
It will destroy the cow farmers.
My next stop is Yanni's halloumi factory in Nicosia.
Hi, I'm Jimmy.
Welcome, Jimmy.
I'm here to see how you make halloumi cheese.
We came to the right place.
Wow, it's a lot of cheese. How much cheese do you make?
About 10 tons of cheese a day out of 100 tons of milk.
And what is it? Is it goats, cows?
It's a mixture. I would say 70% cow's milk and the balance sheep and goat milk.
So why do you use so much cow's milk?
Because there is more available.
More available? Is it a better price?
Sheep and goat milk is more expensive.
So that's why a bit more cow's milk?
Yes.
Yanni's factory produces halloumi for some of the UK's leading supermarkets.
So what do you think about the possibilities of the government helping to bring in a PDO for halloumi and reduce the amount of cow's milk?
Theoretically, it's a good idea, but practically, we don't enough the right quantities of milk to catch up with the ever-expanding export that we have. It will be a disaster.
Would this halloumi be allowed to be called halloumi?
I believe not.
Unlike British cheddar or French brie, halloumi can be made anywhere in Europe. If it's introduced, the new law will ensure halloumi can only be made here in Cyprus. But it's created an all-out war.
I've invited to lunch the Permanent Secretary of Agriculture because I want to get to the bottom of this heated halloumi debate. Hi there, I'm Jim.
Hi, I'm Olympia.
Lovely to meet you.
Olympia Stiliano heads up the government committee that's trying to register halloumi as a PDO.
So it's caused a lot of controversy because I suppose the traditionalists believe it should just be goats and sheep's milk, but the cattle farmers want their say, and then you've got the cheese producers.
I can't tell you right now what the final decision will be on this controversial issue, but if it is decided that yes, it should be at least 50% sheep or goat milk, then there's a provision in the regulation that says that the minister can give a transition period of 10 years to adjust their production methods.
So they have got a length of time, 10 years to change.
Yeah.
What would you say that the benefits will be of going down this route and having a PDO?
I think the big benefit is that only the Cyprus producers will be allowed to use the name halloumi cheese. So obviously that gives a huge commercial advantage. If we go ahead with the PDO, we'll have a very bright future for halloumi and for the country and everybody concerned.
And so if Cyprus gets its PDO, and then you find out that I'm making halloumi just with cow's milk in England, are you going to come after me?
Yeah. Certainly.
earlier, I was shocked when I found out my favourite fruit contains traces of a deadly poison.
What we're detecting here is very small amounts of cyanide.
Cyanide?
Yeah.
But now, after my true or false mission, I know that apple pips contain such low doses that I'm safe to carry on eating them.
Now, cyanide can be lethal to humans and most animals, but doing a little bit more digging, there's apparently a few furry friends that would survive a lethal human dose. Morning!
I've come to a wildlife reserve in Kent to meet head of primates, Simon Jeffrey.
Now, Simon, I was wondering if you could help me. I've heard that apparently there are a few little creatures that are an exception to the rule when it comes to cyanide.
There are, yeah. I mean, I can do better than sort of tell you about them. I can show you if you want to follow me up this way.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you.
But which one of Simon's animals is the secret cyanide eater?
Right, if you come this way, in you come. We can meet the little girl. Tantelli. Tantelli, Mum.
It's a very little hole, so I don't think anything scary is going to come through it.
Tantelli. There we go. So Tantelli is a greater bamboo lemur.
She's a lemur. This is what she likes to eat.
This is 98% of their diet, and bamboo's full of cyanide. I mean, literally, they eat enough cyanide every day to kill a human being.
Really? Gosh, look at you. You're so small, and yet you just chow down on the cyanide. Are these the only animals in the world that are resistant to cyanide in that way, or...?
There are other animals that eat lots of bamboo. You have things like red pandas, giant pandas, lesser bamboo lemurs. They all have a certain amount of resistance to poisons and stuff. And we don't actually know 100% why they can process that much poison.
Really?
Yeah.
And so she eats a lot of bamboo. What about apple pips?
They don't have apples in Madagascar, but she does eat apples, and they have eaten pips, and of course not going to be a problem for her in the slightest.
Do you know what, Simon? Because usually I'll put anything in my mouth, but I'm drawing the line at bamboo today, I think.
Yeah, I think it's probably a wise idea.
I think I'm going to leave that with you.
I would.